Yeah, brother, excellent question. But you're gonna have to keep in mind something. At my base, I'm always gonna be a karate guy, right? And like when I see a fighter like Conor McGregor combine kickboxing, karate, and boxing together, that's what I love, right? That to me is a true mixed martial artist. When I look at Ilya, I see really slick boxing, right? Like mainly, right? Like and that is in its own way just as appealing, but everybody's gonna have their own personal bias and their own personal takes. So me personally, I like watching McGregor more. I like the switch up that he does. I love the stances that he uses, and only somebody who's trained in various arts can really relate to that. Ilya, like he uses the arts to stifle. Like he can leg check, right? And he can kick, obviously, but he uses it to stifle the opponent so he can get into boxing range and do what he likes to do boxing. And not that there's anything wrong with that, right? Like Daniel Cormier used his wrestling to force people to kickbox him. You know what I mean? And he was a small enough guy where he could do some things in kickboxing that a lot of big heavyweights could not do. Now, if he was fighting a kickboxer in a kickboxing bout, he wouldn't have had such success. But the level in striking MMA is very different, and then that goes for all of them, right? That's what I when the Conor Floyd Mayweather bout was announced, I kind of smiled and I laughed, and the world's taken for a ride. And my best friend said to me, "But what if he does win?" And that's the feeling. That's the Rocky Balboa. Like there's always a chance. Is there a chance? Yeah, I mean maybe, not really. Like rule sets rule, right? Like could Conor beat up Floyd in a street fight? Maybe, right? Like he's probably got more tools than Floyd has there. But that wasn't the rule set they were fighting in. Like they were going into a boxing match. Me personally, I like seeing the kicks. I like seeing the switches and the stances and the styles and everything. Ilya is much more methodical. But listen, being methodical usually makes you a little bit more successful. If you're going wild, you're going all over the place, switching in and out, it can work for a while until it doesn't. And guess what? The world figured out the Conor McGregor riddle. I mean, if you want my true opinion on Conor McGregor, I think that he was, and I don't mean this in a pejorative, but you're going to take it that way. I think he was a weight bully. So going down to featherweight and going down to lightweight, you match him correctly, and he's an animal. You get him up to welterweight where he feels great and he feels like a killer and he looks like a killer. It doesn't work out that way because guys can absorb his damage pretty easily, right? And that's the way it seemed to work out for him. I know Donald Cerrone was kind of a anomaly in that. I don't know what to say about that, right? If I had more faith in humanity, I wouldn't say the fight is fixed, but it sure felt like a fixed fight, right? I don't know. But yeah, man, I'm always gonna pick the karate guy, the kickboxer, over just the pure boxer. But don't take that as a sacrosanct. Like I love Ilya too, man. That's why we love this sport because there are so many variations. And there it is. Everybody like and follow for more on the fight game.